Out from closed session. It is 7:05. We do have something to report out on closed session. By a 3-0 vote for readmission after expulsion, student numbers 22001, 22007, 22009, 22010, 22011, 22012, and 22014 are we want for readmission after expulsion. There is another student number 22004 that we are reinstating with an amendment. So that's all I have on that. Okay. I got papers all over here, sorry. Okay, can you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I should have had you do it. I should have, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, next is approval of the agenda. Do I have an approval of the agenda as written?
I move to approve the agenda as written.
Thank you.
And I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes, President Zeta.
Yes.
Trustee Moss.
Yes.
And Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
Excellent. We're at reports, and Charles Young, Dr. Young, you're up.
Thank you very much. Just a couple of quick comments. End of the school year, I thought that the graduation ceremonies were incredibly enjoyable, very well done and very well attended. It was just a wonderful experience. So great to see that in our great little school district. Also, as your superintendent, I feel like it's been like the long goodbye, right? But I just want to thank you again for the opportunity to serve as your superintendent, and it's been a real honor. It's been a privilege and an honor, and I know you've got many, great days ahead of you. So great school districts, and it's a good place. A lot of great things to continue working on. And thanks for your service as a board, and thanks for hiring me, the board hiring me those years ago. So thank you. And one other thought going forward, I think it's so important when we come together as a community and all the things that you do it in a way that builds community. Just keep building community, that it's inclusive and everybody feels like they're part of the effort, and that it's optimistic. And most important thing is to keep the kids at the center of all the decisions you make, because the only reason school districts are operating is to educate those important children. So keep the kids at the center as you have been. So keep my comments short. So thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for those words of wisdom, and we will move forward as best we can. Now it's time for board reports, and I'm just going to start first. I want to share with you that I know that we had a lot of speakers here last time regarding the DARE program, and I just want to let you know we heard you, we hear you. We are going to get this on an agenda at the beginning of the school year. We want to give Dr. Damon Wright an opportunity and fill him in on everything and get his feedback before we make any decisions. I've talked to Dr. Beetson, so this is not going away. We are going to bring it back, and it'll be on an agenda in August. So just be on the lookout for it, and we will discuss further. I just didn't want that to go without being said. Secondly, I attended the years of service and the district retirement celebration, and it was wonderful. We have some really dedicated teachers and staff that have been here forever, and I just want to congratulate all those that are retiring and moving into their next chapter. I think it's awesome, so congratulations. And finally, I'm going to pat myself on the back here just for a second. I attended, we have 7 schools in our district, plus we have 4 preschools. I attended 10 graduations or promotions from our district. I missed one, and I see her back there. I'm so sorry. Robert Semple, it goes without saying that I wish I could have been there. I just didn't realize I had 3 in the same day. And oh my gosh, but it was wonderful. Each and every one was so wonderful to attend. Kids were so excited. The kids at the high school were so well behaved. You never know what's going to happen at a high school graduation. And our kids were amazing at every single one. So I was really proud to represent our board and be there on behalf of us, and so excited for these kids and their next chapter at a different school or into college or whichever path they take. So that's the end of my report. Dr. Moss?
Yep, I don't have anything to add. I attended graduations as well, so
That's great.
nothing.
Mr. Maselli?
I just wanted to say I really appreciate you guys we dealt with COVID. I had it right when all the graduations hit, and so I appreciate you guys making everything. And Charles, I really appreciate the opportunity to work with you. You've been outstanding.
Ditto. Okay. And we're going to move on to comments from members of the public. I have 2 here this evening. The first up is Kashana Lee. If you would join us at the podium, please. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I know that you mentioned the DARE program. Unfortunately, I was not able to be here for the last meeting. So I'll just quickly go over some things, and I understand that you will be talking at the beginning of the school year. One of the questions I have is, I want to know why a survey was administered to 5th grade students without prior knowledge to the parents or parental consent about the DARE effectiveness. I want to know why BPD is allowed to use my child's educational time to complete their community outreach. You have the statistics information. You have Google to tell you the ineffectiveness of the program. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money that can be allocated to programs that our children would be beneficial to. We're one of the only schools that still has this program. And this kind of brings to light that maybe it's time to move on from it. It is inappropriate for police officers to educate my child on anything that they do not have proper or extensive educational training on themselves. Honestly, it is insulting to those that are professionals in that line of work. 5th graders should not have been put in a position to answer any survey questions. I understand that we are coming out of a pandemic, and that is not an excuse. If you all were to be more present at the school sites, if you would actually sit and listen and have real raw conversations with your staff, you would see that this program holds as much water as a bucket full of 1,000 holes. Community outreach should not be happening at our schools. It should be happening within the community, and it is not our district's job to fulfill that for a BPD. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next public comment is Nancy Rothstein.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for the update and for hearing us. I was really happy to hear that, considering the amount of people who came out, so thank you. And again, I was, coming back knowing it wasn't on the agenda tonight, but just to recap, I spoke last week and really framed it as an equity issue, and I hope that moving forward that will be top of mind. And I also wanted to say that this doesn't have to be framed as anti-police. This is about the appropriateness of the police doing this particular task of education. So I'm not saying my opinion about police in general, but I'm suggesting that you are able to assess DARE as a separate thing, and it doesn't have to be anything about any other controversy around the police. It is just an assessment of the appropriateness of this program, why police are teaching this material when there really are clearly better options for that, and then also assessing the program itself, which has clearly been shown to be outdated and has it's barely holding on by a thread in terms of the numbers of schools that it's in. So thank you again for hearing us, and we'll look forward to the further dialogue about it and to getting the program out of the schools and a better option in place. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I failed to read our note about in-person meetings. Do I need to read that now, or can we just omit that portion? The video? I can read it really quick. Okay, BUSD has moved to in-person board meetings. Masks are strongly recommended but not required. All functions of the board meeting, including public comments, will take place in person. Members of the public may address the board at a regular meeting on any item within the board's jurisdiction. Speaker cards are available at the entrance table. Please note the item you wish to speak to and submit a card to the board secretary. The board secretary will the board president will call an open session general comments during the public comment item. Comments for items on the agenda will be called during the specific item. Comments are limited to no more than 3 minutes per speaker, or the board may limit the total time to 20 minutes per item with the timer displayed on the monitors. By law, no actions may be taken on any item raised during the public comment period, and matters may be referred to staff for placement on a future agenda of the governing board. Please be reminded to keep your comments respectful, as students may be watching the board meeting. Thank you. Thanks for allowing me to do that. Okay. We're on the consent calendar. So all matters listed under the consent calendar are considered by the board to be routine and will be approved by the board in one motion. There will be no discussion on these items unless members of the board, staff, or public request specific items to be pulled and discussed. Do I have a motion to accept the consent calendar as written?
I move that we approve the consent calendar as written.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
President Zeta.
Yes.
Trustee Moss.
Yes.
Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
Okay, and then we had to do a separate roll call on item 10.3, approval of resolution 21-22-31 regarding the education protection account. We need to do a motion, please. Do I have a motion on 10.3?
I make a motion that we approve item 10.3.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
President Zeta.
Yes.
Trustee Moss.
Yes.
And Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Item number 11, we don't have anything tonight, so we're going to move on to item number 12, our non-consent action items. The first one, I am so excited. I'm really excited to be able to vote this evening on the consideration and an appointment of our district superintendent that will be taking over from Dr. Young. So I want to find out, I want to see if we have a motion to approve the contract as written.
I move that we approve the contract with the new superintendent as written.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
President Zeta.
Yes.
Trustee Moss.
Yes.
And Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
But at this time, I would like to call up Dr. Wright up here, and he's going to say a few words.
Good evening, President Zeta, governing board members. I just want to take this time to thank you. Thank you for believing in me and affording me this opportunity to lead this great community. I understand that with this superintendency comes great responsibility, and I just want to assure you that I'm up for the challenge and I am committed to it. I understand that I'm joining a very strong team of leaders, and I had an opportunity to collaborate with many of them yesterday. And together, I'm sure that we're going to continue the excellence that our previous leaders have laid the groundwork for. And through our commitment to providing equitable outcomes for students, prioritizing social emotional learning, mathematics, and literacy, we're going to move our district upward. To our community members, you make the district special, and I'm so happy to return to the Benicia Unified School District and you help us thrive. We value our partnerships that we have with you, and we look forward to expanding those relationships. We plan to launch a listening and learning campaign to better understand our culture and gather input so that all voices are heard and considered when it comes to supporting students and our programs. To my family and friends and supporters, I just want to thank you for your patience. I understand that this road was not always easy, and I understand the sacrifices that you've made for this dream to come true. And I appreciate your ongoing support while we embrace this opportunity. And to everyone, let's enjoy this journey together. I'm ready to get started. Let's go BUSD. Thank
Yay.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item, after that great news, and bye, it was so nice to meet you. Bye, good luck at graduation. All right, 12.2, consideration and approval of resolution number 21-22-32. Dr. Young.
Sure. So this is I got this right. Yes. So pursuant to Ed Code Section 5017, the terms of the following through 3 Benicia Unified School District governing board members will expire on December 9th, 2022, and their seats will be up for election in November 8th, 2022 in the general election. Each is a 4-year term. Diane Ferrucci is up in Area 5, and Mark Maselli, Area 4, and Sherry Zeta, Area 1. In addition, in accordance with Ed Code Section 5322, July 8, 2022, 123 days prior to November's election, is the deadline by which BUSD Governing Board must deliver to the county superintendent of schools a resolution, that's what you're doing tonight, specifying the date and purpose of the election. Attached is the resolution specifying the election order for the consolidated board member election. So it's a procedural task, and I have the resolution here, and at the end of the board meeting, you could sign.
So, can I get a motion to accept item 12.2, consideration and approval of resolution number 21-22-32?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution number 21-22-32.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
President Zeta?
Yes,
Trustee Moss?
Yes.
Trustee Maselli?
Yes.
even though it's really weird seeing my name on there, hearing my name on there. Okay. 12.3, consideration and global adoption of the revised Benicia Unified School District Board policies. Index 12 to 18, Benicia Unified School District, the 0000 series, Philosophy, Goals, Objectives, and Comprehensive Plans, the 1000 series, Community Relations, the 2000 series, Administration, 3000 series, Business and Non-Instructional Operations, 4000 series, Personnel, 5000 series, Students, 6000 series, Instruction rather, 7,000 series, Facilities, 9,000 series, Board Bylaws. Dr. Young.
Yeah, so you had a first reading of this global adoption at the last board meeting. And it's a big deal for you guys. And again, I'd like to thank Ms. Martinez urging for us to do this. And we worked with CSBA. So all of your board policies are hereby up to date. So you have an opportunity tonight to approve them. So you have these going forward for your new superintendent and your team and all of you.
Thank you. Okay, can we get a motion to accept the item 12.3 as written?
I move that we approve item 12.3 as written.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Zeta.
Yes.
Trustee Moss.
Yes.
Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
We're keeping you busy tonight, Dr. Young.
Mhm.
12.4, consideration and approval of board policy 3311.5 on government accounting standards board GASB 87 lease capitalization policy.
Yeah, I'm going to turn that over to Mr. Rahill. This is one that
Great.
came to us recently, so he'll explain that to you. So you have an opportunity to approve that tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's our district, like most and many districts in California, we work with the California School Boards Association on policies. And this one was not one that they had a sample on. It's relatively new. And so we consulted with our external financial auditors. It's in regards to a government accounting standards, the Government Accounting Standards Board. It's 87. It's for leases, and it's a capitalization policy. And so we are in compliance with GASB 87 to approve this board policy as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Rahill. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay. Do I have a motion to accept, to approve 12.4 as written?
I move that we approve item 12.4 as written.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
President Zeta.
Yes.
Trustee Moss.
Yes.
Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. We're going to move on to the next item, 12.5, consideration and approval of updated course outline for geometry and construction. Mrs. Rice, you're up. Our Director of Educational Services.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, board. Good evening, cabinet, and our Benicia community. I am here to bring forth an updated course outline. You approved geometry and construction the year we went out for COVID. So it was approved. It wasn't instituted due to being virtual. Just a quick recap, this course aligns with integrated 2 math. It takes those math skills and it puts it into practice with applied mathematics, coinciding with our CTE construction pathway. The 2 teachers do teach in a period simultaneously. So the math teacher and the CTE construction pathway teacher are together. Why I'm bringing it back to you is they are wanting to put it in practice next year. And with that, our fantastic teachers did some reflection and they went back to the table with the math department, really making sure it was aligned to our Math 2. So if the students taking this course choose to go into integrated Math 3 the following year, that there aren't any gaps. So they shored it up, they connected it more with the adopted textbook for integrated 2, and that's why I'm bringing it back to you today.
Thank you. Any questions? No? Okay. Do I have a motion to accept 12.5 as written?
I move that we approve item 12.5 as written.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
President Zeta.
Yes.
Trustee Moss.
Yes.
And Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to move on to item 12.6, consideration and approval of adoption of updated U.S. government curriculum, TCI. Again, Mrs. Rimes, it's yours.
Thank you. Yes. So I'm bringing forward a curriculum that our 12th grade U.S. government class would like for your approval to adopt. It is TCI, the Teachers Curriculum Institute, which we adopted 2 years ago for our 11th grade course, and a year prior to that for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So our 12th grade teachers piloted it this year. They were thoroughly impressed. We have a 5-point rubric, and it did not score any less than 4 in any of the categories. It was really well organized for both students and teachers. It really promoted critical thinking skills and connected government to high school student lives. It had multiple perspectives and really just gave a platform for the students to really do some deep intrinsic thinking and discussions. So our 12th grade teachers would like to align with 11th grade, so we have that common curriculum and vocabulary, and that's why I'm bringing it forth today.
Thank
Any
you.
questions?
Any questions? No? Okay, can I get a motion to accept 12.6?
I recommend that we approve item 12.6, the consideration and approval of adoption of the updated U.S. government curriculum.
Thank you. Can I get a second, please?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please. Yes.
Yes.
And Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
12.7, consideration and approval of adoption of Frog Street curriculum for universal TK. Mrs. Rice.
I'll take the doctor, but no,
Sorry.
dismisses. All right, so Frog Street, I also had the privilege to work with our new Universal TK team. Again, I presented, I believe, the last board meeting. I gave you an update on where we are with UTK, and with that transition, we looked into new curriculum. I worked alongside Dr. June Regis, who oversees our child development unit, to get that input from the earlier education side. We looked at 3 different curriculums and dug deep into Frog Street because it had really good reviews. They only focus on the early childhood literacy side, etc., as well as our preschool uses this curriculum and has really been pleased with that curriculum. They will now be training in focusing on the 3-year-old version, so it won't be that they're doing it in our preschool and in our UTK. This curriculum covers everything from literacy to math to social studies to social emotional learning, movement. It also goes deep into giving tools for our teachers to really hone in on what the students are doing individually. So looking at those individual needs, they unanimously voted to move this curriculum forward and are really excited to train in it. So we're hoping that you get behind it as well. Any questions?
Yeah, is there state I mean, I know for like government and everything else, usually the state has certain requirements in terms of what has to be covered. Has the state come out with anything for?
So they have the Preschool Foundations, and so it's taking we look at the kindergarten standards and the preschool foundation. So it's kind of the merging of the two. There's not just UTK standards as of now.
I
They
was
call it
wondering about that,
foundations.
if there were standards.
But this curriculum is aligned to that. We're also going to be doing a deep dive with our teachers on that as well. They build that into their professional learning, as well as the piece they have just added new literature, much more relevant, much more culturally representative, and they also have it in different languages. So it really meets the needs of many students in our district.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
No.
Oh, okay. So Do I have a motion on the table for 12.7, or can I get one, please,
I move that we approve item 12.7
as written?
as written.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
President Slater.
Yes.
Trustee Moss.
Yes.
And Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 12.8, consideration and approval of job description for program specialist / behaviorist. Dr. Gill, it's your turn.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Madam President, Governing Board, Dr. Young, and community members. So we currently have a job description for behaviorists only. We are requesting, a request came from the Special Education Department to make into a program specialist / behavior, just to expand the abilities of this position, what this position can do to support our staff and support our teachers. So that's all we're requesting, is to expand the horizon of the job description from behaviorist only to program specialist / behaviorist.
Does anybody have any questions? Is this one person? It's going to be one person, correct?
Yeah.
Do they have enough time are they going to be able to accommodate?
Yes, so for example, like a behaviorist, if they sit in an IEP meeting, they can only play the role of a behaviorist. If they're program specialists, they can also be an administrator / behaviorist.
Okay,
So it's just kind of playing a dual role while sitting in a meeting.
all right. Thank you for clarification. Do I have a motion on the table for 12.8, or can I get one, please?
I move that we approve item 12.8 as written.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
President Slater.
Yes.
Trustee Moss.
Yes.
And Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
All right. Don't go far, Dr. Gill. 12.9,
Here.
consideration and approval of new temp position, ELD and literacy teacher support.
So this is again temporary teacher position. Currently, we have something which is called intervention teachers. This is specifically to support our ELD students. Again, it's a temporary position with the temporary funding for 1 year only at this point, to meet the needs of students, language learners, and also support any students with any of these type of needs, and also assist with reclassification, redesignation, and LPAC testing, and so on. So it's another teaching position. Temporary though.
So
It's
it's
temporary.
I think it will be testing and those kind of things we might kit well, but the actual support in classroom with the younger kids.
That's, yeah, I
mainly.
was curious.
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, may I get a motion on the table to accept 12.9
I'd like to move that we approve item 12.9
as written?
as written.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
President Slater.
Yes.
Trustee Moss.
Yes.
Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. I'm up again. I'll let you read it first.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute. 12.10, consideration and ratification of the tentative agreement of the 2022-2023 year between Benicia Unified School District and the Benicia Teachers Association, also known as BTA. Dr. Gill.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So this, again, I'm very proud. I say this every year at this time. We as a team have done an amazing job. Then I'm going to be really commend our both of our negotiation teams, BTA and CSEA. In this case, BTA, we're talking about our governing board, our cabinet, especially Dr. Young, working, together with the governing board and everybody. This is kind of anomaly. This doesn't happen that often, that we meet for one day, sometimes 35 minutes, sometimes 3 hours or 4 hours. I am really hoping that in the upcoming year, if nothing else, we can keep this legacy of doing negotiations in such a positive manner, and just sitting together as a family, we talk and we resolve issues and come out with something really great within few hours. So having given that just that statement, and I would like to say that we just met with BTA for one negotiation session. It was few hours, and we actually had several different articles to talk about. And we were able to close and had a tentative agreement. I'm very proud to say and very thankful to everybody, including our CBO, for doing the math and with the numbers, that we are very pleased to be able to offer 6.56% ongoing salary raise to all of our BTA unit members in this case, and then also $73, which is equal to giving everybody Kaiser Law. Everybody, when I say everybody, meaning every full-time employee, effective 22-23 school year. And the total cost impact on the district's budget for this upcoming school year will be $1,649,000 for this raise for specifically for BTA.
Thank you. I also want to say how amazing it is that we have been able to tackle this every year with such it's dignity. I mean, it's like dignified in the way we're doing it, the way you guys are doing it. We sit back and watch and wait for the phone call. But yeah, it's been wonderful to be on the board seeing it happen this way. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Yeah, I really appreciate it too, being in another district where it's a knockdown, drag out fight every year. And I know I have a lot of teacher friends in a lot of districts, and this is so rare to get it done like this. And I really appreciate you guys doing that and getting it done. You know, this is other districts look and go, how do you do it? You know, it starts at the top. Thank you.
We're a model district for
Yes,
others. to
very much
live
so.
by. So thank you, Dr. Young and Cabinet and everybody for.
A quick
making-
comment for me before you vote on it. Parting comment. If don't do whatever you can not to go back to positional bargaining. We haven't had to do it for 4 years, and it's just, in my estimation, my experience around it winds up being a lose-lose for everybody. And what I found who really loses oftentimes is kids. So if you can avoid that and keep what we've been doing going forward, I think everybody in the system benefits.
I really appreciate you, Charles,
Thanks, Mark.
deciding that labor peace is a high value commodity, because that's amongst superintendents, that's a rare thing. I mean, a lot of them seem to just like to go knock down, drag out, you know, against their staff, and every year is this. And it so much time is taken away from educating kids, but you've made sure that doesn't happen. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. So without further ado, I want to find out if we can get a motion on the table to accept 12.10 as written.
I move that we approve item 12.9 as, I'm
okay.
sorry, 12.10 as written.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second it. I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Yes.
Trustee Moss?
Yes.
Trustee Maselli?
Yes.
Thank you. Item 12.11, consideration and ratification of the tentative agreement for the 2022-23 school year between Benicia Unified School District and the Classified School Employees Association, chapter, I think it's chapter CH number 1096, pending ratification by CSEA unit members. Dr. Gill.
Thank you, ma'am. So this, actually, I will say this. This year, our meeting with CSEA was my shortest meeting. This was my 5th negotiating meeting with my CSEA team. With CSEA team, we have always met maybe over one day, 2 hours, 3 hours. I think there was one time we met like over 2 days for a couple of things. But this was, I think it was more like an actual meeting other than me talking about other stuff, weather or whatever, right? The actual talk, actual negotiating time was more like 33 minutes, Bruce, something like that. Right? It's like the shortest meeting ever, I think, in the history of this world. So, especially with my history with BCSEA. So amazing again. I really appreciate all of our work of all of you first, because what you provide to me, based on that, we actually deliver. So all of our negotiating team members, the management team members, the CSEA, and then BTA. So this was really good. Again, very positive. We just sit and talk and make it happen. So again, with CSEA as well, CSEA members, we really appreciate them, everything they do. The ongoing salary increase for CSEA employees, classified employees, will be 6.56%. And then $73, which is for anybody who works full-time, which is equivalent to 35 hours per week, is Kaiser Law coverage for all employees, effective for the 22-23 school year. And the financial impact on the district of this negotiation, this tentative agreement is $772,000.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
I also would like to say thank you to Tim. I appreciate him finding ways to make this happen also. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, can we get a motion on the table to accept item 12.11 as written?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve item 12.11.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'd like to second that.
Thank you.
President Zeta.
Yes.
Trustee Moss.
Yes.
Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
Okay, on to 12.12. Yeah, 12.12. Okay, consideration and ratification of the total compensation package for the 22-23 school year between Confidential Management Classified Certificated and the Benicia Unified School District. Dr. Gill, I'm referring back to you.
Definitely. So we are offering the same compensation package to our management team as well. I'm speaking on Dr. Young's behalf because I am part of this management team also. Is ongoing salary increase of 6.56% and $73, which is equal to Kaiser Law total coverage on benefits package. And the impact of financial impact is for 22-23 school year of this package is $471,000.
Thank you. Are there any questions? No? Can I get a motion, please?
I move that we approve item 12.12 as written.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call?
President Zeta.
Yes.
Trustee Moss.
Yes.
Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to be looking here to my right. 12.13, consideration and adoption of the 22-23 Local Control Accountability Plan. Dr. Beatson.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm really pleased to bring forth for your approval this evening our 22-23 Local Control Accountability Plan, the LCAP, which, as you know, serves as our district strategic plan. At our last board meeting on May 26th, I went through the entire plan, metrics, all of it, action services, all of those things, through a presentation for a public hearing, and I'm bringing that back to you this evening for adoption. I have the presentation attached. If you would like me to go through any of it again or have any further questions, I'm happy to do so. But at this point, the purpose of this is to bring it forward for adoption.
Thank you. I am okay because I've gone through it. You guys have all seen
Yeah, I
it?
really appreciate all the hard work,
Yes,
man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right. So can we get a motion to accept 12.13?
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion that we approve item 12.13, consideration and adoption of the 2022-23 LCAP plan as written.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please. Yes.
Trustee Moss.
Yes.
Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for all the work on that.
Yes.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Our last item of tonight, 12.14, consideration and adoption of the 22-23 budget for the Venetian Unified School District. Mr. Rayhill.
Good evening again. Yes, we have this item for your action tonight to adopt the 22-23 budget. Similarly to the LCAP, we presented the full document to you at the last school board meeting. We've attached it again. We have updated our 22-23 budget to include the settlements with our employee groups. And we've also updated our LCFF formula to include the funding for the prior three average ADA, which is more beneficial to our school district. Those are the main two changes in the budget. Again, the packet is included. Tonight, I can go through that with you, or if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you. I've reviewed it. My colleagues, any questions?
Last
No
time we went
questions.
through
I
it.
mean, yeah, you guys do line by line mostly, and we have questions, we reach out, and ask.
Thank you for putting that together.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Can I get a motion on the table to accept 12.14?
I move that we approve item 12.4 as written.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
President Zeta.
Yes.
Trustee Moss.
Yes.
And Trustee Maselli.
Yes.
Okay, well, that brings a close to this meeting. I want to thank all teachers and staff and admin and management and cabinet, everybody, for all the work they did this year. It was not an easy year. Our next board meeting is August 11th. And I want everybody to enjoy their summer, just kind of step away from the school stuff for a bit and just enjoy your time. And students will resume on August 16th of this year. And again, to Dr. Young, I'm not going to cry, but thank you for everything that you have done for our district. We really, really appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. So I am going to close this meeting in, wow, 51 minutes, 7:51.